The message arrived at 2:13 p.m. A photo, my daughter's face, pale and tear-stained. A man's hand was gripping her chin, forcing her to look at the camera. The caption beneath it read, "She has a new job now at this brothel." The world seemed to stop. The station clock in the background froze mid-second. My reply was a single line. "I was the CIA's top interrogator for 15 years. I'm giving you 2 hours to bring her back, or you won't see today's sunset." The leader of the criminal organization laughed. His voice came over the line, thick with arrogance. "You think I'm scared of a broken old man?" He hung up. "But fear has many faces. His would soon know every single one of them." I sat motionless, my pulse steady. My training kept me from breaking, but beneath the calm a storm was gathering. Not just for my daughter, not just for the crime, but for the betrayal I could smell. Beneath it all the stench of someone close, feeding information to the enemy. Betrayal always cuts deeper than violence. The first hour felt like a blade against my skin. I thought of my wife, her recent emotional distance, the calls she ended abruptly, and the texts she hid. I had told myself it was just stress, exhaustion, a life built on the fractures of my past profession. But when the man on the other end of the line sneered, "Your woman," begged me not to hurt the girl, I froze. How did he know her voice? Why did his laughter sound so familiar? I replayed every look she had given me in recent weeks, every excuse, every time she shut a door too quickly or silenced her phone before I could hear. The betrayal wasn't proven yet, but I felt it like a bruise under the skin, hidden, dark, and waiting. My daughter was the bait, but the hook had been set by someone much closer. I moved silently, as I always did. My laptop was already open. The encrypted logs cracked under my hands like paper. Within minutes I had her phone records. I saw repeated late-night calls to a burner number, which I crossed. The coordinates lit up on my screen. A bar owned by the same criminal family that had sent me the photo. My jaw tightened, but I held on to my composure. Anger clouds thought, and thought was all I had. I checked her bank account. Missing cash, enough to buy silence or betrayal. Then I noticed the unused DNA kit she had ordered 2 weeks ago. For years, the question of paternity had never left my mind. Now it returned, sharp and merciless. Was my daughter even mine, or just another weapon they had planted in my life? I imagined her small hands when she was a child, the way she said "daddy" as if it meant safety. If that was all a lie, then I had been living in a prison I never saw. I didn't break. I gathered my strength. I prepared. The truth always comes to the surface if you dig deep enough. The lab courier arrived at dawn with the DNA results. My hands were steady and cold as I opened the envelope. The 2 sentences inside sealed the truth. Probability of paternity, 0%. Biological father not consistent with tested subject. My knees did not buckle. My training forbade any sign of weakness. But inside, something caved. My daughter was not mine. My wife's deception was wrapped in flesh and blood. She entered the kitchen moments later, her hair damp, pretending to have just woken up. I laid the envelope on the table. She froze, her voice cracking as she asked, "What is this?" I said nothing. Her eyes scanned the report, and her pretense shattered. Panic flooded her face. "I can explain," she whimpered. "Silence is the sharpest blade." I gave her none of my own. She broke before me, sobbing, her apologies spilling from her lips, but I just watched. The crime boss called again. His tone had changed. "My men are gone. The brothel is shut down. Please, have mercy." I didn't answer. I let him choke on his fear and ended the call. Instead, I turned to my wife, who had collapsed at the table, trembling like a child. "You gave them our daughter," I said, my voice flat. Her lips moved, spilling out excuses, but I paid no attention to the sound. I showed her the message in the photo, the proof of her betrayal. I wanted her to feel it burn. "They had leverage because of you. They knew everything because of you." She reached for me, desperate, but I stepped back. "You destroyed this family long before they touched her." Her sobbing grew louder. My own never came. By sunset, my daughter was safe. She was silent and broken but breathing. I brought her home, though the word meant nothing now. I looked at her and knew the truth. Bloodlines mattered less than betrayal. She was innocent. She was theirs and mine, in different ways. But the woman who called herself my wife had ended the illusion. I left her crying in the kitchen. I did not touch her. I did not shout. Some betrayals do not deserve noise. I walked into the night, the air colder than before but clearer, too. She would have to live with the truth I had laid bare. That was punishment enough. As for me, I would never again mistake love for loyalty. I closed the door behind me, knowing that silence was the sharpest revenge I could ever give her.